Chapter 48. Now these are the names of the tribes, from the north end, beside the way of Hethlon, to the entrance of Hamath: Hazar-Enan, at the border of Damascus northward, beside Hamath. And they shall have their sides east and west. Dan, one portion. And the border of Dan from the east side unto the west side, Asher, one portion. And the border of Asher from the east side unto the west side, Naphtali, one portion. And the border of Naphtali from the east side unto the west side, Manasseh, one portion. And the border of Manasseh from the east side unto the west side, Ephraim, one portion. And by the border of Ephraim from the east side unto the west side, Reuben, one portion. And unto the border of Reuben from the east side unto the west side, Judah, one portion. And the border of Judah from the east side unto the west side shall be the offering which you shall set aside, 25,000 reeds in the breadth, and in the length as one of the portions, from the east side unto the west side, and the sanctuary shall be in the midst of it. The offering that you shall set apart unto the Lord shall be 25,000 reeds in length, and 10,000 in breadth, and for these, even for the priests, shall be the holy offering. Toward the north 25,000 in length, and toward the west 10,000 in breadth, and toward the east 10,000 in breadth, and toward the south 25,000 in length. And the sanctuary of the Lord shall be in the midst thereof. The sanctified portion shall be for the priest of the sons of Zadok, that have kept my charge, that went not astray when the children of Israel went astray, as the Levites went astray. And it shall be unto them a portion set apart from the offering of the land, a thing most holy, by the borders of the Levites, and answerable unto the border of the priest. The Levites shall have 25,000 in length, and 10,000 in breadth. All the length shall be 25,000, and the breadth 10,000. And they shall not sell of it, nor exchange, nor alienate the first portion of the land, for it is holy unto the Lord. And the 5,000 that are left in the breadth, in front of the 25,000, shall be for common use, for the city, for dwelling, and for open land, and the city shall be in the midst thereof. And these shall be the measures thereof: the north side 4,500, and the south side 4,500, and the east side 4,500, and the west side 4,500. And the city shall have open land toward the north 250, and toward the south 250, and toward the east 250, and toward the west 250. And the residue in the length, answerable unto the holy offering, shall be 10,000 eastward, and 10,000 westward, and it shall be answerable unto the holy offering, and the increase thereof shall be for food unto them that serve the city. And they shall serve the city, out of all the tribes of Israel shall till it. All the offering shall be 25,000 by 25,000. You shall set apart the holy offering 80 with the possession of the city. And the residue shall be for the prince, on the one side and on the other of the holy offering, and the possession of the city in the front of the 25,000 of the offering, toward the east border, and westward in front of the 25,000. Toward the west border, answerable unto the portions, it shall be for the prince, and the holy offering and the sanctuary of the houses shall be in the midst thereof. Thus the possession of the Levites and the possession of the city shall be in the midst of that which is the prince's, between the border of Judah and the border of Benjamin shall be the prince's. As for the rest of the tribes, from the east side unto the west side, Benjamin, one portion. By the border of Benjamin, from the east side unto the west side, Simeon, one portion. And by the border of Simeon, from the east side unto the west side, Issachar, one portion. And the border of Issachar, from the east side unto the west side, Zebulun, one portion. And by the border of Zebulun, from the east side and to the west side, Gad one portion, and by the border of Gad, at the south side, toward the border shall be, even from Tamar unto the waters of Menerbath Kadesh, to the brook, unto the great sea. This is the land which you shall divide by a lot unto the tribes of Israel for inheritance. And these are their portions, saith the Lord God. And these are the goings out of the city on the north side, 4,500 reeds by measure. And the gates of the city shall be after the names of the tribes of Israel, 3 gates northward, the gate of Reuben, 1, the gate of Judah, 1, the gate of Levi, 1, and the east side 4,500 reeds, and 3 gates, even the gate of Joseph, 1, the gate of Benjamin, 1, the gate of Dan, 1. At the south side 4,500 reeds, by measure, and 3 gates, the gate of Simeon, 1, the gate of Issachar, 1, the gate of Zebulun, 1. And the west side 4,500 reeds, with their 3 gates, the gate of Gad, 1, the gate of Asher, 1, the gate of Naphtali, 1. And it shall be 18,000 reeds round about. And the name of the city from that day shall be, the Lord is there. All right, let's go back up to verse 1. And we will remember yesterday, as we look back out as we went back out this water, these great understandings that were flowing from the throne of God, by the threshold of God. And we will see these were the great understandings that would flow out and water the whole earth, bring understanding and knowledge to all mankind, is what it all represents. And because all of it comes from God. It comes from the law. It comes from the law one way or the other, whether the law is blessing, whether the law is cursing, and that's the way it works. See, God has set judgment in the earth, and it is, and it's just the way it is. We're going to see now as well, though, we started to divide up and section out and portion out that we're going to find out today, that which is going to be the offering, this land or this kingdom, we'll find that God does rule over. And this includes the whole encompassment of it. And it shall be, see, for an inheritance to Israel, as well as those who sojourn among them, these ones, because there's one law for all, and that is the law. Verse 1, we're going to pick it up here now, in verse 1, because now these are the names of the tribes, from the north end, beside the way of Hethlon to the entrance of Hamath, Hazar-Enan, and to the border of Damascus northward, beside Hamath, and they shall have their sides east and west, Dan one portion. And we're going to see now that these are the names of the tribes, and these are not only the names of the tribes we'll see. Now God said these will be the judgments as well, and God sets judgments in these, and they are beside that way of Hethlon, and because that is that hiding place. Hethlon is that place where they hide, that place where it's wrapped up or finished up, this by the borders of Hazar-Enan, this enclosure of their perceptions, this place where they have enclosed them in these things that they perceive. See, it's also by the border of Damascus, and the border of Damascus are these things that's been outlined, because Damascus is that place where the sackcloth weaver is working silently, and this one preparing for morning, northward, that place of judgment, even that place that looks towards judgment, beside Hamath. Hamath is that enclosure of walls, that enclosure of walls that we have talked about, even that which Egypt stood for, that land of enclosures. And they shall have their sides, they shall have even these things that were made plain, east and west, east from understanding unto darkness, even that place where the sun goes down, that's the west, we can witness these things. Dan shall have one portion, and Dan is the judge. He is the the ruler of judgment even, and he shall have his portion. And one, that's because that's beginning, that is a beginning, see, in the portions. And these are the portions as they are, we'll find out, sliced off, 2. And by the border of Dan, from the east side unto the west side, Asher shall have one portion. And that shall be the beginning of that which is sliced off for Asher. Asher is that step up, that step forward, that progress that we've talked about, even that which represents the altar. Shall he have his portion, even those things which were made plain in understanding and in darkness. 3. And the border of Asher, from the east side even unto the west side, Naphtali shall have one portion. And that shall be the beginning of that which is sliced off for Naphtali. And Naphtali, those are wrestling and twistings. Those ones that are wrestling and twisting, even with the word of God, shall have his portion there. That even those things which were made plain in understanding, and even in the darkness. 4. And the border of Naphtali, from the east side into the west side, Manasseh, one portion. And Manasseh shall have his portion there, even that which is sliced off for Manasseh. And Manasseh is those that cause to forget. See, from the east side, from that which was made plain, even to the darkness, that portion that he shall receive. 5. And by the border of Manasseh, from the east side into the west side, Ephraim, one portion. And Ephraim is the double-fruited, those that bear these with multiple fruits even, shall he have his portion. That was the beginning of it being sliced off. From that, even from the side which was made plain in light, to that which was made plain in darkness. 6. And the border of Ephraim, east side, even to the west side, Reuben, one portion. Reuben shall have his portion there. And Reuben means to see a son. Reuben is even those that see a son, and he shall have his portion even from that which is made known to that which is in darkness. He shall have his portion there. 7. And by the border of Reuben, from the east side into the west side, Judah, one portion. And Judah is those of praisings. They shall have their portion there, even the beginning of that which is sliced off shall be made known, even in darkness. 8. And the border of Judah, from the east side into the west side, shall be the offering which you shall set aside. 25,000 reeds in breadth, and in length as one of the portions, from the east side into the west side into the sanctuary shall be in the midst of it. And by the border, these things that were outlined by Judah, these the ones of praising, from the east side into the west side, those things that were made known, see, in understanding and in darkness, shall be the offering. And this word offering is tarumah, or oblation, as referred to in the King James Version, is this atonement even, that which you give in a recompense for what you've done, to make atonement for your deeds, which you shall set aside. And even this shall be a sanctified portion, even that which is set aside. That makes it hallowed. See, it's hallowed then, once it's set aside. 25,000 reeds in its breadth. And this 25,000 reeds is the grace, see, and to witness the law and its fulfillment, even the work of man. Because these reeds, remember, are 6 cubits and a hand's breadth each. And that 6 cubits is the work of man in its measure, see, with its hand breadth. Even that work it does. That was what it was measured out for. That was its breadth. And in its length, it was its determinations as one of the portions. See, as one of these slices. From the east side unto the west side. From even all those things that are made known through enlightenment. And those things even made known in the darkness. And the sanctuary shall be in the midst of it. Within it, that sanctuary. See, that's that sanctified place. That's that hallowed place, that portion that you can't partake of. See, we'll find out. because Zadok rules over that portion. That's that portion that's sanctified unto the Lord. 9. The offering that you shall set apart unto the Lord shall be 25,000 reeds in length, and 10,000 in breadth. And that offering, that oblation, that atonement that you shall set aside, that shall be sanctified, that shall be hallowed, shall be 25,000 reeds in length. And that grace that you witnessed the law in its fulfillment, and that work of man in its determinations, and 10,000 in its breadth, because the law is the fulfillment in its use. And that's what it is. God making a great example of all of it so you can witness. He is God, and that is his law. 10. And for these, even for the priest, shall be the holy offering. Toward the north, 25,000 in its length, and toward the west, 10,000 in breadth, and toward the east, 10,000 in breadth, and toward the south, 25,000 in length. And the sanctuary of the Lord shall be in the midst thereof. And of these, even for the priest, shall be for a holy offering, and it shall be for a hallowed offering, and for a hallowed atonement. For that thing you can't touch. It belongs to God. It's for the atonement. It's for your atonement, even the division of it. Toward the north, that place of judgment, was grace, 5, and 20,000. And grace was the fact that you could witness the law in its fulfillment, and that was what it was determined for. And toward the west, toward that where the sun goes down, that place of darkness, was 10,000 in its breadth. 10,000 was for the law to be fulfilled in its use, and it was. And toward the east, 10,000 in breadth. And towards the east, for understanding, see, was that you could witness the law in its fulfillment, in its use. And these are the two. See, there's two equal portions, east and west, in understanding and in darkness. And toward the south, 25,000 in its length, and the sanctuary of the Lord shall be in the midst thereof. And toward the south, see, that place of witness, for the witness, 5, grace, 20,000, to witness the law in its fulfillment, in its determinations. And the sanctuary, that hallowed portion of God, shall be in the midst of it. In the midst, it's within it. 11. The sanctified portion shall be for the priest of the sons of Zadok, that have kept my charge, that went not astray when the children of Israel went astray, as the Levites went astray. And the sanctified portion, that hallowed portion, that portion that was set aside, that's that hallowed portion we offered up, remember, that portion that was sliced down shall be for the priest of the sons of Zadok. And these are for the sons of Zadok, the sons of the just, the sons of the righteous even, because we'll find they are Levites, and they were the sons that kept the inner sanctuary even in the beginning, when the other sons of Levi went astray with the children of Israel. These other ones took care of the operations of the house even then. See, that God even then making a separation, a division in the house of Levi from the beginning. 12. And it shall be unto them a portion set apart from the offering of the land, a thing most holy, by the border of the Levites. And it shall be unto them a portion that's set apart from the offering of the land, a thing most holy, by the borders of the Levites. And we're going to see this portion, it's set apart. It has nothing to do with the atonement and the offering of the land, of the offering and the atonement of the kingdom of God. It's God's, and it belongs to him. It is a thing most holy. It's most hallowed. You can't partake of it. It's by the borders of the Levites, these ones that did go astray, see, these ones, because it's in the midst of it all. We'll see. It's in the midst of all of it. 13. and it's answerable unto the border of the priests. The Levites shall have 5,020,000 in length, and 10,000 in breadth. All the length shall be 5,020,000, and the breadth 10,000. And answerable, see, belonging to the borders, or these outlines of the priest, the Levites shall have 5 grace and 20,000 to witness the law in its fulfillment, in its determinations, and the law is the fulfillment in its use. They get the equal portion like everybody else, a chance to witness the law being used. All the length shall be 5,020,000, and the breadth 10,000, and all the length, all its determination shall be for grace, and to witness the law in its fulfillment, and its use shall be for the law in its fulfillment. And that's the way it is. The Levites get an equal. It's equal. All things are equal. God is equal in all things. And they shall not sell of it, nor exchange, nor alienate the first portion of the land, for it is holy unto the Lord. And they shall not sell it. They shall not trade it off. They shall not exchange it. They shall not get rid of it. Nor alienate the first portion, beginning this little piece here for this reason, of the land, for it is holy unto the Lord. It is a hallowed thing unto God. It is not your property. It is for your use. See, even these things that are within the outlines of the sons of Zadok, we'll find out. You're not allowed, according to the law, to transfer that which belongs to God for any reason. 15. And the 5,000 that are left in the breadth in front of the 5,020,000 shall be for the common use, for the city, for dwelling in open land, and the city shall be in the midst thereof. And the 5,000, that grace in the fulfillment that's left, see, that's left over, this residue, we'll find out, this residue in its use, see, that's before the 5,020,000, that's in front of or before it, this grace in the witness of the law and its fulfillment shall be for the common use. It shall be for everybody. Everybody shall be able to witness, just like the Levites are. It's nobody to control it, for the city and for the dwelling of the open land, for the living there. It's what it's for the abode, for the planting of crops, and the city shall be in the midst of it, because we'll see God's temple, God's place, is a city that is within the city. 16. And these shall be the measures thereof. The north side, 4,500. The south side, 4,500. On the east side, 4,500. And the west side, 4,500. And all these shall be the measures thereof, these things that are established, the determinations. The north side, this judgment that was made plain, was the work of God being fulfilled. It was grace in the judgment. There was grace in the judgments of God. And the south side, 4,500. And to the south, that parched place, even that makes a witness, see, being made plain, that which was made plain, was the work of God in the fulfillment, and it was grace in the judgment. And on the east side, where we look for understanding, all these things that are made plain, there was 4,500 once again. See, it's the work of God in the fulfillment. It's grace in his judgments. And the west side, 4,500. And even for the darkness, even for those of darkness, see, there's the work of God in its fulfillment. And there's grace in his judgment. And that's God. That's the way God works. 4 sides equal, because it's always the work of God. 17. And the city shall have open land toward the north, 250. Toward the south, 250. And toward the east, 250. And toward the west, 250. And the city, that place that shall have its guard, that place shall also have the open land. That open land all about, we'll find, for the tilling, for the use, that's toward the north. That was for judgment, see. Witness now the judgment, because there's grace in the law. And toward the south, see, that parched place, even that place that God gave us to witness. There's a witness there in judgment, and there's grace in the law. And toward the east, even all the understanding that comes from God, there's a witness in his judgment, and there's grace in the law. And toward the west, that place of darkness, see, we can also witness the judgment. But there's grace in the law. 18. And the residue in the length, answerable unto the holy offering, shall be 10,000 eastward, and 10,000 westward, and it shall be answerable unto the holy offering. And the increase thereof shall be for food unto them that serve the city. And that which is left over, the residue and its determinations, are answerable unto the holy offering. They belong to that hallowed portion of atonement, which was set aside for God. And it shall be law in its fulfillment, eastward, looking towards understanding. And it shall be the law in its fulfillment towards the darkness. And it shall be answerable unto the holy offering. It shall belong, and it shall be a portion of that which is hallowed. It makes atonement for. It's set aside for and belongs to God. And the increase thereof shall be for sustenance, food unto them that serve the city, unto them that work in the city, who labor there. And they that serve the city out of all the tribes of Israel shall till it. And those that serve the city, those that do work there, will find God does cause all to work there. Out of all the tribes of Israel, we'll see even all those that was portioned out, those ones who contend with the mighty one, those ones he scattered out in all the earth, shall till it. And they do till it, and they will till it. 20. All the offerings shall be 25,000, and 25,000. You shall set apart the holy offering foursquare with the possession of the city. All the offering, that which will make atonement, that which does make atonement, shall be 25,000. And that's grace, see, when you witness the law in its fulfillment, because there is grace. By this grace that you witness the law in its fulfillment, you shall set apart the holy offering, that which is hallowed, that which belongs to God, that which will make atonement, foursquare. Will be equal. It is the work of God, and it shall be equal with the possession of the city. With that possession of the city, with that belongs to God, that even that city which is within it. 21. And the residue shall be for the prince on the one side and on the other of the holy offering, and the possession of the city in front of the 25,000 of the offering toward the east border, and westward in front of the 25,000 toward the west border, answerable unto the portions. It shall be for the prince, and the holy offering, and the sanctuary of the house shall be in the midst thereof. And the residue, that which is left over, that portion that's left, shall be for the prince, shall be for that ruler that God does establish on the one side. And it shall be the beginning of these things being made plain, on the other side of the holy offering, on the other side, that even where we can witness that which was made plain of that holy offering, that hallowed portion that's sanctified, that's set aside for an atonement, and of the possession of the city, and of the possession that which possesses the cities in front of the 25,000. In front, before now, grace, and witness the redemption that was fulfilled, or witness the law that was fulfilled, and of the offering that made atonement, that looks toward understanding and the outlines of it, and westward in front of the 25,000 toward the west border, and westward even towards that way of darkness that's before grace and the witness of the law and its fulfillment, even toward that outlines of the darkness, this west border, that west border, answerable unto the portions belonging even to that portion there. It shall be for the prince. It shall be for that ruler whom God establishes. And the holy offering, that holy portion that's set aside to make atonement, and the sanctuary of the house, that sanctified place of the house, shall be in the midst thereof, shall be within it. Thus, 22, the possession of the Levites and the possession of the city shall be in the midst of that which is the prince's, between the border of Judah and the border of Benjamin shall be the prince's, in the possession of the Levites. Thus the possession, that which belongs to the Levites, these ones, see, we'll find out that not the Zadok, but the other Levites that we were talking about, and the possession of the city shall be in the midst of it. It shall be that of that which is the prince's, it shall belong to that which is the prince's. And it shall be between the outlines of praisings and the outlines of Benjamin. Benjamin, we'll find, it will form the southern border, even. Benjamin, that son of my right hand, that son of my work, that son of the strength even of my work, shall be the prince's, and it shall belong to the prince that shall set his southern border. 23. And as for the rest of the tribes, from the east side into the west side, Benjamin, one portion. Now we'll finish up dividing, slicing it off for the rest of the tribes, the rest of the kingdom, from the east side, from understanding being made plain, to the west side, even those things in darkness, Benjamin, one portion. And that slice, that portion, shall be for Benjamin, the son of my right hand, even the son of the strength of my work. 24. And by the border of Benjamin, from the east side into the west side, Simeon, one portion. And Simeon heard, those that have heard, shall receive his portion, that slice for him. And the border of Simeon, from the east side unto the west side, Issachar, one portion. And east side to the west side, Issachar shall receive his portion, from understanding even to darkness, because there is a recompense. See, Issachar, there's a recompense. He shall receive one portion. That is the beginning of that slice. 26. And by the border of Issachar, from the east side into the west side, Zebulun, one portion. Zebulun, those that are exalted shall receive his portion there, or that slice there, even from the understanding to those things that have made of darkness that were made plain. 28. And by the border of Gad, at the south side, southward, the border shall be even from Tamar unto the waters of Meribah Kadesh, to the brook, unto the great sea. And the border, that was outlined of Gad. Gad is those that are cut off. See, remember the slices that were made at the south, where we can, that parched place that we can witness now, this things that are made plain, southward, even towards that place of witness. The border shall be even from Tamar, and Tamar, we remember, that palm tree, these correct teachings, these correct understandings, unto the waters of Meribah Kadesh. And the waters, those understandings, see, of those waters at Meribah, where they did contend with the Holy One. They did contend with that which is hallowed, that which was sanctified and set aside by God there. To the brook, that brook, we remember that brook, it's Nakal, and what that brook's going to stand for is the Jordan even. This great Jordan, these understandings that send from the throne of God, unto the great sea. Unto the great sea, even all the waters thereof, all the waters, even all the understandings in the earth. 29. This is the land which you shall divide by lot unto the tribes of Israel for inheritance. And these are their portions, saith the Lord God. And this is the land, this is the place where they shall dwell. This is that land, that kingdom of God, that has been divided by lot, according to the tribes of Israel, those that contend with the mighty one. Those that once he scattered out in all the earth, it's your inheritance, and that's your portions, saith the Lord God. 30. And these are the goings out of the city. On the north side, 4,500 reeds by measure. And here are the goings out of the city. And on the north side, the goings out thereof, how you go out of the city on the north side, even on that side of judgment, the work of God in the fulfillment, and grace in its judgment, the work of man. That work of man by measure even is established, that because that's what it is. It's established for judgment. 31. And the gates of the city shall be after the names of the tribes of Israel. 3 gates northward: the gate of Reuben, 1. The gate of Judah, 1. The gate of Levi, 1. And the gates of the city, these gates, these places where they shall gather for judgment, even in judgment, shall be after the names of the tribes of Israel, and they shall be after these names, or these names shall be given unto them even, of Israel, those ones who contend with the Mighty One. He's scattered out in all the earth. See, complete judgments. These 3 gates, these complete the judgments. Northward, even that, towards that place of judgment, the gate of Reuben. And it's the judgment of Reuben to see a son. The gate of Judah, the judgment of those of praisings. It's the beginning. And the gate of Levi, those that join, is the beginning. And that judgment of those that join shall be the beginning. 32. And at the east side, 4,500 reeds, and 3 gates, even the gate of Joseph, 1. The gate of Benjamin, 1. The gate of Dan, 1. And on the east side, even towards the understandings that were made plain, is the work of God in the fulfillment, and there's grace in the judgment of the work of man. And the 3 gates, even these complete judgments, even the gate, the judgment of Joseph. And Joseph is that which God gives, that which God shall give. It's a 1, this beginning, this gate of Benjamin, this judgment of the Son, even of my great work, the Son of my right hand. 1, even the beginning, the gate of Dan, that judgment of the judge, even the ruler of judgment, begins. 33. And the south side, 4,500 reeds by measure, and 3 gates: the gate of Simeon, 1, and the gate of Issachar, 1, and the gate of Zebulun, 1. And on the south side, even that place that was a witness and made plain, was the work of God in its fulfillment, in the grace and the judgments of the work of man by measure. Even it was established for that. And these 3 gates in the complete judgments was the judgment of Simeon. And the judgment of Simeon, this was those that have heard, would begin. And the judgment of Issachar, and Issachar, because there's a rightful recompense, would begin. And the gate of Zebulun, this gate of Zebulun, that judgment even of those that exalted themselves, would begin. 34. And at the west side, 4,500 reeds, were the 3 gates, and the gate of Gad, 1. The gate of Asher, 1. And the gate of Naphtali, 1. And on the west side, even that which was made plain in darkness, was work of God in the fulfillment. And there was grace in his judgments against the work of man. And there are 3 gates. There was complete judgments in the gate of Gad, the gate of those that were cut off, the judgment of those that were cut off began, and the judgment of that represents the altar began, and the gate of those that wrestle and twist would begin. 35. And it shall be 18,000 reeds round about, and the name of the city from that day shall be, for the Lord is there. And it shall be 18, law and the new beginning. The law shall have a new beginning in the fulfillment, even in the work of man all around. And the name of that city from that day shall be, the Lord is there. And that is the name Shema. And that is, God is there. And that is where God will find. We're going to finish up this great book of Ezekiel. And we're going to move forward today into the book of Joel, the and we hope we can see you there. Turn and return, for God is the answer, and His law is the redemption thereof.